Why can't we just print more money? The cost of printing money. In today's economy, inflation isn't just a number on a chart. It's a force that's reshaping lives across the US, Canada, Europe, and beyond. Groceries are more expensive. Rent is skyrocketing, and central banks are stuck between raising interest rates or risking economic collapse. So, why can't governments just print more money to fix things? It sounds like a simple solution, but the consequences can be devastating. Let's unpack the hidden cost of printing money and why it's not the magic fix it seems. The logic that tricks us. Imagine this: millions of people are living in poverty. If money solves problems, why don't we just print more of it and make everyone rich? On the surface, it makes sense. More money equals more spending equals problem solved, right? Well, not exactly. Because money isn't wealth, it's just a tool to exchange real value: food, homes, fuel, services, time. When you print more money, but the number of goods and services stays the same, you create inflation, where prices rise and the money in your wallet buys less and less. Red and the basics of inflation. Let's break it down with a simple example. 5 people each have $5 and there are 5 loaves of bread. Everyone can afford 1 loaf. Now imagine the government gives everyone an extra $5. Now they each have $10, but there are still just 5 loaves. Everyone tries to buy 2 loaves, but the bakery can't bake more overnight. Demand rises, but supply stays the same. So, the bakery raises prices from $5 to $10. The result? Everyone still gets only 1 loaf. But now, they're paying twice as much. This is inflation. Too much money chasing too few goods. What about the supply chain? Now imagine this scenario scaling across the entire economy. Bakeries need more wheat. Wheat farmers raise prices because demand spikes. Fuel, transport, labor, everything gets more expensive. Soon, inflation spreads like wildfire. And if a government keeps printing money, that's when you get hyperinflation, a complete collapse of currency value. Real-world disasters. Germany, 1923, the Weimar Republic. After losing World War I, Germany was in ruins. The German Empire was replaced by the Weimar Republic. The country was devastated, its infrastructure shattered, and its economy in chaos. On top of this, the Treaty of Versailles forced Germany to pay massive war reparations, worsening their financial condition. Desperate to cover its debts, the government started printing large amounts of money. The result? Hyperinflation. By November 1923, prices were doubling every few hours. People needed wheelbarrows full of cash just to buy basic goods. Germany printed money. At the peak of the crisis, a loaf of bread cost 200 billion marks. People burned cash to keep warm. It was cheaper than firewood. Zimbabwe, 2008. Zimbabwe, formerly known as Rhodesia, ended apartheid in the 1980s and established a new nation. Its president, Robert Mugabe, redistributed land from white landowners to black farmers. While well-intentioned, many of the new farmers lacked agricultural training. This led to a sharp drop in food production, rising unemployment, and economic chaos. To keep the government functioning, Zimbabwe printed money, a lot of it. By 2008, Zimbabwe's inflation rate reached 89.7 sextillion% per year. That's 89.7 followed by 20 zeros. The Zimbabwean dollar became worthless. People had to carry huge stacks of notes just to buy basic groceries, and sometimes prices doubled in a single day or even within hours. Venezuela, 2016. Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world, even more than Saudi Arabia. When oil prices were high before 2008, Venezuela was booming, selling oil and earning huge revenues. However, instead of developing industries or diversifying the economy, the government used this income to provide extensive subsidies and price controls. Under a socialist model, the government took over many industries and discouraged private businesses. Everything seemed fine until oil prices crashed after 2008. Venezuela's economy, being heavily dependent on oil, collapsed. The government couldn't cut subsidies without angering the people, so instead they printed more money. This led to rapid hyperinflation. The Venezuelan currency became so worthless that people were literally throwing it in the streets because it couldn't even buy a piece of candy. Why doesn't this happen in the US or Europe yet? You might ask. The US printed trillions during the pandemic. Why didn't it collapse? Well, short-term stimulus can work if it's temporary, targeted, and backed by productivity. But when money printing becomes a habit without growing the economy's output, that's when inflation spirals. It's not just about how much money is printed. It's about confidence, supply chains, productivity, and public expectation. Lose those, and even the strongest economies can crumble. The real solutions. So, if printing money doesn't work, what does? Investing in productivity, building infrastructure and skills, creating jobs that generate real value, managing supply chains and innovation. Real wealth comes from producing more, not printing more. Governments and central banks must walk a tightrope between stimulating growth and avoiding inflation, and one misstep can lead to chaos. Money has power, but only when it represents something real. Print too much, and you devalue everything, including trust. So next time someone says, just print more money, remember, inflation isn't just a number, it's a warning. If you thought printing money was risky, wait until you see how it's actually created out of thin air. In our next video, we pull back the curtain on the biggest illusion in modern finance: how banks and central banks manufacture money without printing a single bill. We'll break down how this invisible process silently drives inflation, fuels inequality, and quietly transfers wealth every single day. What do you think is the biggest threat to our economy right now? Drop your take in the comments. And if you're ready to understand how the system really works, hit like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell, because the next video might just change everything you thought you knew about money.